We're on United's first flight to Greenland? What happens when the world's ultimate flyover becomes your next stopover?
Hello, jet setters. We're on the first flight to Greenland, and you're coming along.
Here's the plan. We'll leave Newark at 11:30 in the morning, fly for about 4 hours to reach Greenland's capital, Nuuk. This new flight will operate on a 737 MAX 8. It covers 1,860 miles, about the same as flying from Newark to Albuquerque.
Inaugural flights are always a good time, a guaranteed party. But the real question that so many people are asking, maybe even you, is why Nuuk? Why Greenland?
Well, there are three main reasons. First, until recently, it just wasn't possible. At only 3,100 feet, the runway in Nuuk was too short for large jets. Instead, only small propeller planes traveling short distances to other places in Greenland could use it. In fact, even though it's the capital, Nuuk's old airport didn't even have the equipment airplanes need to land in bad weather. But now, the runway is 7,200 feet long, which makes it possible for larger planes to use. Flights to mainland Europe have begun, and later today, the city will be linked to the US. We'll get to the other two reasons for this flight, but first, I have a question for you.
I think we can all agree that Greenland is a kind of out-of-the-box destination, but let us know in the comments below, what other out-of-the-box destinations would you like to see served from North America?
We are booked into Economy Plus today, but because of our Star Alliance Gold status and because this is an international flight, we have access to the United Club. That is a great thing because I need some coffee.
I don't like eggs.
Help me remember, was it our first date or our second date where you said you really wanted to go to Greenland?
I never said that. I didn't really expect to be going to Greenland, but being married to you, I get to say it a lot. What am I getting myself into?
This is it.
When United announced their new routes for 2025, it included everything from like Mongolia to Madeira.
But Greenland? I mean, come on. We've flown over it so many times, so I'm so excited that you're coming along. Let's get over there, start the party, and then we'll board that bird.
And that brings up the second reason for this new service. It's United. You see, they do a great job, better than any other US airline in my opinion, of experimenting with new routes. This is just another example of how they're creative about starting unexpected destinations.
And here it is, the 2-year-old 737 MAX 8 that's going to take us over to Greenland today. This is not, in fact, the first time the United States and Greenland have been linked by commercial air. For a short period of time back in 2007, Air Greenland operated a flight from BWI with a 757.
But that was almost 2 decades ago, so today is a time to celebrate. There were snacks, drinks, and tons of revelry. If you're interested in more transportation adventures like this one, I hope you'll consider clicking the subscribe button and tapping the notification bell. This flight was full of fellow aviation enthusiasts, as well as United frequent flyers and even employees, but we all agreed the speeches reminded us this was about more than just a flight.
What makes this flight so special is that it really captures people's imagination. And that's what we're doing at United. We're building something special.
Just 4.5 hours. That's all it takes to travel from the busy streets of New York City to the quiet majesty of Nuuk. That's less time than it takes to fly from coast to coast within the United States. Yet when you land in Greenland, you step into a place of stunning natural beauty, deep cultural roots, and proud traditions.
And that brings us to the third reason for this service. More Americans than ever want unique opportunities for adventure travel, and since this was, allegedly, United's fastest-selling inaugural flight, early indications are that Nuuk could be the next hot destination. But if you keep watching to the end, we'll show you what it's like to visit so you can decide for yourself whether this is a place you'd like to add to your bucket list.
3, 2, 1.
And just like that, the party's over. It is time to board this bird.
But first,
Today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. It's a security tool that basically acts like a secure tunnel between you and the rest of the internet. I've been using NordVPN for years now. It's become an essential tool for my travel arsenal. I absolutely love it because it allows us to mask our location and use the internet just like we're at home, which means we can watch content that's only available in the United States, even when we're in a place like Greenland. But not only that, it's also a vital security tool too. You see, if you're using public Wi-Fi in places like restaurants, hotels, or other public places, you never know when prying eyes are keeping an eye on you. And if you use NordVPN's features, then it'll notify you when malicious files or infected sites or other bad actors are at play. So head over to nordvpn.com/JebBrooks. Sign up for 2 years and get 4 months free, plus a huge discount. It's risk-free because of Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/JebBrooks.
Next up, Nuuk.
Love a goodie bag.
Again, this flight is operated by a narrow-body 737, and these seats are sold as International Premium Economy, which United brands as Premium Plus. On this inaugural flight, however, they were blocked for VIPs, which was not us. So we booked economy tickets the very day they went on sale. We were able to select seats in Economy Plus thanks to our gold status. At each seat, we found a keychain, stickers, a postcard, welcome letter, commemorative poster, along with a standard pillow and blanket. Suzanne was over the moon for her long-sleeve t-shirt from her goodie bag, giving it a solid score of 5 out of 5.
For the first time ever, an airline captain gets to say, "Welcome to United Flight 80 service to Nuuk." Have nice views as we head up over the northern part of Canada, and then we'll get back into some, I would assume, traditional Nuuk weather, but partly cloudy skies, some rain showers, just a gentle breeze there right now.
As we pushed back, the safety video played with captions in Danish, Greenlandic, and English. A sense of awe and excitement passed through the cabin as we began this historic flight. United chose to call this flight number 80, by the way, because the Greenland ice sheet covers 80% of the island. Captain Morgan turned to the north, and we were truly on our way. Service began on board with drinks. Beer and wine are complimentary on international flights. The Wi-Fi cost $8 and was fast and reliable for the entire journey. On the service side of things, United still has some kinks to work out on this new route. The online menu prior to the flight did not match what was actually served on board. Lunch was a choice of vegetarian pasta, fish, or chicken. I had the fish, which was really tasty, and Suzanne, of course, chose the chicken. Unfortunately, United's bamboo cutlery was difficult to use for the chicken. After lunch, we crossed over the St. Lawrence River. We paid about $1,300 each for our round-trip tickets from Newark to Nuuk. However, since this was the inaugural flight, these prices are a little inflated. It's looking like, into the summer, you'll find basic economy tickets for around $1,100, or you can pay $2,700 for Premium Plus, a pretty steep markup for a fairly short daytime flight. But what do things cost when you get to Greenland? Well, we'll let you know when we get on the ground. As we get farther north, it really is surprising to see just how close North America and Greenland really are.
It is a party up here in the Isles. Everybody is just excited about this route. But out the window, the views are incredible. This is a part of Canada I really have never flown over, so it's a lot of fun to see it as we make our way up. The other thing that's really cool about this flight, we just checked Flight Radar 24. It's one of the most tracked flights in the world right now, and you can see why. It's just exciting to be plotting a new route from Newark to Nuuk.
In the past, you'd have to connect in Iceland or Copenhagen to visit Greenland from the US East Coast, but that all changes today, at least until September, when this twice-weekly seasonal service is slated to end. Flight 80 departs Newark on Saturdays and Tuesdays. About 90 minutes before landing, flight attendants offered a snack and a drink. Hats off to them, by the way. Working an inaugural flight is always tough, but particularly on a narrow-body aircraft like this one where everyone wants to be up in the aisles celebrating. As we crossed the Labrador Sea, the sea ice was truly impressive.
We have begun our descent in just a few minutes. United Airlines will touch down in Greenland for the first time ever.
Now, as exciting as this flight has been, I'm even more excited to check out Greenland. I really have no idea what to expect, but we're bringing you along and we'll share it all with you.
With that beautiful landing from our captain, we have all made aviation history. Welcome to Nuuk International Airport. The local time is 6:34.
There were so many people at the airport to welcome the arrival. We even received a water cannon salute as we pulled into our parking space. The international news was even covering this historic event. As we stepped off, we could barely contain our excitement. The airport was buzzing with our arrival. We were through immigration and baggage claim in no time, and the flight was big news all over town. We were ready to start exploring.
Now that we've touched down in this incredible place, what do you do here? Well, it's time for 24 hours in Nuuk.
Wait a sec, 24 hours? What happened in 3 perfect days?
Hemispheres magazine, those were the days. Well, the good news is with the flight schedule, you definitely can do that because you can arrive here on a Saturday and then depart again on a Wednesday, which is what we're doing, but we want to show you a jam-packed 24 hours, so let's get into it. 7 a.m. Wake up in Greenland.
In summer, Greenland is 3 hours ahead of the U.S. East Coast, and with the sun rising at 3:55 in the morning, it's easy to get an early start.
8 o'clock, it's breakfast time.
Breakfast is included with our room and involves an extensive buffet with international options and more local specialties like reindeer sausage.
It's 9 a.m., time to start hiking. No matter the weather, we hike.
Although yesterday was a sunny day in the low 40s, things took a turn for the worse this morning with a wind chill of only 19 degrees. And these low clouds mean many of the flights within Greenland are canceled today. And wouldn't you know it, the same thing happened to our hike. Our guide never showed up.
We've been waiting outside for 40 minutes. I think we're going to call it. This is the nature of travel. You never know exactly what to expect. So it's back to the hotel to regroup and make a new plan. It's 10 o'clock, back in our hotel room. Let's talk about lodging.
There are a few hotels and Airbnbs in town, but we chose the 4-star Hotel Hans Egede.
Our hotel is named for Hans Egede. He was the first Dane to come here, and even now there's a tight relationship between the Kingdom of Denmark and Greenland. But there's still a fierce independence among the people here.
Double rooms here start at $270 a night, but we paid around $500 for our spacious suite with a living room, coffee bar, conference table, and bedroom. We really like the artwork in here featuring Arctic wildlife. Hillary Clinton stayed in this room when she visited in 2011 as U.S. Secretary of State.
11 o'clock, let's check out a museum.
The Greenland National Museum covers about 4,500 years of history, from prehistory to the modern day. I was sorry to miss out on the hike, but this turned into a welcome change of plans.
This museum is incredible, particularly the section about Inuit transportation. It makes me really grateful, though, for United Airlines. I don't think I could handle a kayak in these waters. It's noon, and that means it's time for lunch.
Greenlandic cuisine is predictably about the sea. For lunch today, we went to the cafe in the Cultural Center. Suzanne had the fish of the day, which was halibut. It was probably the best thing we ate during our time in Nuuk. I had the fish and chips, but looked longingly at her halibut. You may notice that these prices are steep, but nothing comes cheap on this remote island. We found plenty of other options during our stay. There was Thai food, there was pizza, there was tapas, and everything we ate was truly delicious.
2 p.m., stroll around town.
58,000 people live here in Greenland. That means you could just about fit everybody into Dodgers Stadium. Now, 20,000 people live here in Nuuk, so it's the biggest city by far. There's plenty to do to keep yourself busy.
There are lots of cool shops in town, along with several other museums.
So why all the colorful buildings? Well, initially they were painted according to their function. Red for churches, yellow for hospitals. Now they're just kind of Instagram worthy.
It's 4 o'clock, so it's time to head on a puffin tour. Now, the island may be the size of 3 Texases, or Texi, making it the world's largest non-continental island. But there are only 93 miles of road, and that means most everybody gets around by boat or by plane. So let's head out to the water.
In a place as wild as this, you never know what you're going to see.
This is when the puffin tour turns into a whale watching tour.
After watching the whales for a few minutes, we made our way over to this island. We were there to see the puffins with their distinctive orange beaks and feet. They may be awkward in the air, but they're great swimmers, reaching depths of up to 200 feet when they're looking for food. In addition to this tour, it's possible to go fishing, take a glacier tour, do even more whale watching, or strike out in a kayak.
What are you smoking?
I'm not smoking, I'm breathing.
But it was time for us to head back to shore.
Puffin Island, peace out.
If you look really carefully right about here, that's the one iceberg we've seen during our trip. If you want to see more, you're going to have to head north or come earlier in the year. 7 o'clock, time for a drink.
We couldn't pass up the local craft brew.
8 o'clock, dinner time.
It turns out that 2 of Nuuk's best restaurants are in our hotel, so we went to the steakhouse tonight. When I saw that they had musk ox tenderloin on the menu, I remembered just how delicious this Arctic cousin of the bison had looked in the museum earlier today. It really was great. So tender, not gamey at all.
It's 10 p.m. Believe it or not, the sun's not setting for another 3 hours. But I am. Between now and the next time. See you in the sky.
You're probably wondering the same thing.
Of the traveling public,
Is it just me, or does Newark have more announcements than any other airport?
may I have your attention, please?
There's a whole lot, which makes it pretty difficult here.
Solamente en las áreas designadas.
And it was everything from Mongolia to
Madeira.
yeah. It's a place we've flown over a billion times. A little less than that. Like
We flew over it a billion times. This is it. Good? All right, we're recording? Okay. The flights are on Fridays and Tuesdays. That's not right.
That's easy to spend three. It's easy to spend three. Well, the flights from Newark to Nuuk are twice.
It's easy to do 3 perfect nights and whatever. Oh man, I can't do it.
So why all the colorful? So why can't I even talk here?